Hello everyone, Reginald Scott here, welcome to the video. Great to see you all again, hope you're all doing well today. Don't forget, if you enjoy the content, to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, share with a friend, and as always I do enjoy your comments, so please do leave them below. Now today's content, although I'm riding a bike, is not really cycling related. Today is going to be about things that annoy me. Yeah, and not necessarily cycling things either. This is just sort of a general topic. Just thought we'd try and get to know each other a little bit better.
Bad idea.
But I thought it might be fun. So there we go. It's a light-hearted, tongue-in-cheek sort of video. Just me riding my bike. Now today I'm off to the shops. I had my morning ride on my proper road bike, and now I'm out on my sort of shopping bike. This is my steel frame bike, sort of 1980s, early 90s bike, with rim brakes and 35mm tyres. Just sort of thought I'd throw that in there to blow the minds of all the people who in my comments always say, well, the advantage of disc brakes is you can run much fatter tyres. And I'm like, disc bike? Rim brakes, 35s? Is that fun enough for you? The other funny thing about it as well is that, oh, come on, shift down, there we go. The other funny thing about it as well is this bike takes up to 40mm. I can get 37mm knobbly tyres in it, or probably 40 or maybe even bigger slicks. So yeah, it takes huge tyres. Fantastic bike for shopping. It's a nice flexible steel frame as well, so pretty darn comfortable. So there's a Chinese supermarket not far from my house, but I actually prefer the fruit at the same branch, not the same, sorry, at the same company, but different supermarket, the one in the city centre. So that's where we're going today. Now, I suppose the best fruits, the most local, the most authentic fruit, can be purchased at the market on a Friday morning. But I want fruit now. It's Tuesday. And the problem with going to the market for me is that because I'm white...
You mean I'm not white?
Sit down.
This is a scandal! What do you mean I'm not white?
Everyone there assumes I'm a tourist. You know, that I haven't settled here or that I don't live here. And because of that, I tend to get ripped off. I tend to get given the worst fruits. Or, you know, charged extra. That kind of thing does happen here. Yeah, oh well, it's one of those penalties of being a white person. Plus the fact, what's really annoying about it is that generally speaking, the white people you see here are either teachers brought over for the education system, or they're oil workers. Now, teachers are on a really decent wage here, and I believe they get their accommodation from the government for free as well. And the oil workers, well, they're absolutely killing it. You know, they're bringing in more money than you can shake a stick at. So again, because I'm white, the locals assume I'm one of those. So they think, oh, he's got loads of money. Or in fact, I'm as poor as a church mouse. So there you go. Anyway, I've got a new addition to my bike as well. I saw it on my father-in-law's bike, and I absolutely loved it. And it's this horn. Absolutely fantastic. It's a really old-fashioned sound as well. So, it's pretty loud too. So, if anyone gets in my way, I can give them a good honking. The only thing better than this would be like one of those old-timey car horns, you know, the...
You there, fill it up with petroleum distillate and re-vulcanize my tires post-haste.
I've also seen stuff online where people use like train horns, So that's a bit too noisy for me. Here we go. So this is the centre. This building in front of you right now that kind of looks like a helmet with a spike on. That's the Royal Regalia building. That's where His Majesty the Sultan of Brunei keeps all of his gifts that have been gifted to him by sort of dignitaries of other countries and things. There's even a vase in there from Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth of the United Kingdom, and it's not that impressive, but it's quite nice. You can't take pictures in there, unfortunately, but it's free to enter. So if you ever want to go in and see what kind of gifts people have plied him with, then you can. Some of the stuff from the Middle East is amazing, like, you know, Dubai and Saudi and all those kind of places. They sent him giant models of famous mosques made out of like lapis lazuli and ivory and goodness knows what, you know, really ornate things, glass and precious stones, some really fancy stuff in there. So like I say, if you're ever in Brunei, it's free to go in, might as well go have a look. What always interests me is if that's the kind of stuff that he's happy to show you, you know, what has he got in his private residence? That's the thing. Right, we're nearly there now, and I've realised that I haven't actually started the video topic yet, but that's okay, we can discuss it on the way back. I've actually got to buy my wife some flowers. I don't have to buy her flowers, but I want to. So I've got to go somewhere else anyway. They also said it's going to rain in a minute, but I think we should be okay. We're there already at the supermarket now, so we're almost there at the supermarket. So hopefully it rains while we're inside, and then we're dry for the next stop. I like this supermarket because the underground car park here is fantastic when you come on the car, sorry. But I've never been here on my bike before, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, that looks a bit tight, doesn't it? Is it going to trigger? No. That's okay, we'll go around. Sneaky. Hello. Brunei is a super safe place, so I don't really need to lock my bike up, but I did anyway just in case. This is the first time I've ever gone around recording while doing a shop, so I'm going to look like a little bit of a mental case. Let's see what my camera's doing. Right, I want to get some oranges. From Singapore, so they must be good. Right, bananas. How do they move with the bananas around? This didn't used to look like this. Let's have a look. I like a banana called pisang cotton, but don't know if they've got any today. Oh, these are nice looking. Small too. Yeah, we'll go for these ones. Capas, I think I know that one. Right, apples. Everything's in plastic. Here's two things that annoy me. One is everything in plastic. The second is stickers on everything. Why do you need to put stickers on everything? I had these last time, they were pretty good. Right. Get these for my daughter, so she's got a snack for school. Goodness me. Pricey. This is 1.2 kilos. This is only 800, 430. Might as well get the big one. I literally run on oats in the mornings if I do a morning training ride. That's like the main thing I eat is oats, raisins and honey. Ah, I missed something. Balsamic vinegar. I've got to have some balsamic vinegar. I actually use it when I'm eating Asian food, to be honest with you. Like if I'm eating chicken and rice or something like that, egg fried rice, I'll stick balsamic vinegar on it because I love the taste. Occasionally I'll use soy sauce, but here we go. Get one with a price on it. There we go, that's what a small bottle of balsamic vinegar will cost you in Brunei. What is it? 250 millilitres, 5 Brunei dollars. I'll stick the exchange rate up on the screen if you're interested. Got one more thing, and then I'm done. Okay, I think we're done. Let's get to that checkout. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this little quick tour of a Brunei supermarket. Let's see. There we go, super. Must admit, usually I buy a lot more lighter things. Fruits are actually pretty heavy. Look at that, and I didn't even have to pay for parking. Super. Right, that's absolutely the lowest gear I have. So that gap next to that barrier looks suspiciously like I can get past it. Especially this side. That one looks even easier. Yeah, got it. It was, I think maybe my gear was too low. This is a 30 by 30, so I've got loads of climbing power on this thing. Slow though, my computer's gone to sleep. Okay folks, celebratory honk. Let's get back on to today's subject as I make my way towards the flower shop. Get in the big ring. I love a triple crankset. You cannot beat a triple. So versatile. So many gears to choose from. Absolutely love it. I've ridden this bike in group rides, like proper road bike group rides. Obviously not carrying a bunch of fruits, but just stick like narrow tires on it and off to the group ride I go. And it works beautifully. Surprising. Alright, here's some things that annoy me, like really annoy me. Perhaps to an extent that's not even rational. The first thing is public toilet doors. Yeah, this one is like got to be one of the top of my list. Public toilet doors. So what I'm talking about is when you go somewhere and you go to a public toilet, it's all about which way the door opens. Because in this day and age, you would think with all the technology we have, that they could solve this fundamental problem with public toilet doors. And that is why on earth is it wherever you go, whether it's like restaurants or toilets in cities or toilets in, I don't know, airports, do they have a door on there? Well, not always airports actually, some airports are pretty good, but they have a door, and the door to get into the toilet, the public toilet, always opens out. Okay, so, no, sorry, opens in. What am I talking about? It opens inwards, right? So when you're on the outside trying to get in, you have to push the door open. When you're on the inside trying to get out, you have to pull the door open. And that's my issue. Because, as we all know, having been in a public toilet, there's a lot of people out there that don't wash their hands. So you've got a bunch of people in that toilet, right? Peeing and pooping and doing God knows what else. Some of them probably carrying the worst diseases known to man. Then they wipe their nose on their sleeve, walk right past the sinks and go straight to that door. And they grab hold of that door handle and pull the door open. Now you, being that obviously, if you're one of my viewers, you're a civilized human being, you go up to that door after washing your hands carefully, you know, with soap and water. What do? You can't kick the door open because the door opens the wrong way. If you kick it, it'll just get pushed into the frame more. And you can't touch the door handle because, well, everyone who didn't wash their hands did touch the door handle. So now you've got a choice. You can try and like ninja it sometimes by using your foot to open the door by sticking your foot inside that door handle. That's embarrassing when someone tries to come through the other side. You can run off to one of the cubicles and grab a handful of tissue paper and try and open the door with the tissue paper and then dispose of the tissue later. Or you can just grit your teeth, grab hold of that door handle, maybe with a pinky finger, pull it open, and then have to find somewhere else or some other way of cleansing your hands later. That is why I absolutely hate most public toilets. And I cannot fathom in my brain why in this day and age, after being on this planet, I've been on this planet 40 years, why people still haven't worked out that this is a problem, and how even on newer buildings that I see, new restaurant builds, new supermarkets, new, you know, public shopping areas, people are still doing it. People are still installing toilet doors that cannot be kicked open once you're inside. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. Now, the really good ones are, like I say, in some big international airports where it's just like a chicane. So it'll just be a couple of like brick walls, and you take a left-hand turn, a right-hand turn, left-hand turn, and you kind of just go round it, right? They're the best kind, no door necessary. Nobody can see you peeing, it's fine. But if you do have to have a door for some reason, why can't you have a door that swings both ways? Oi, oi. And, or just a door, like I say, that can be kicked open. I just don't understand. You're not kicked even, just gently pushed with your foot. I'm not talking about waiting for someone to come behind the door and then kicking it so it smacks them in the teeth, you know, knocks their braces out. No, just give it a gentle push with your foot. And you know, a window could be helpful as well, like a little window in the door so you can see who's on the other side. That way you don't kick someone's teeth in when you push the door. A bit like in a restaurant, you know, in a restaurant kitchen. This is the thing I don't understand. Restaurant kitchens have had swing doors with little windows in them for decades, probably hundreds of years. And yet, public toilets still can't get this right, and I don't understand it. Now, let me know in the comments below, is this a problem you have? In your country, are you like living in a utopian country that doesn't do this? So I'd love to hear about it if that's the case. What's the situation with toilet doors where you are? It really grinds my gears.
Another thing that grinds my gears is when I can't find the droids I'm looking for.
Yeah, me too. What gives with that?
That one, to be quite frank with you. I have to do all sorts of weird maneuvers to get the door open. Okay, obviously I'm a germaphobe. I just don't like the idea of touching somebody else's pea-stained hand. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't mind shaking hands with people. That's kind of just a given that you have to accept that, you know, they might not have washed their hands.
Hey, Phil! I hope that's a clean wet.
But that toilet door handle, you can guarantee that there's like a whole, you know, biomass of grade A bioweapon all over it. So no thank you. So that's my first one. What's my next one? This is a weird one. You might not even know about this thing. So hot pot restaurants. I cannot stand hot pot restaurants. There's a few things I don't like about restaurants. But hot pot restaurants. What is a hot pot restaurant? Well, this is a restaurant where you go, it's usually Asian food, usually Chinese, and there is a sort of a hot plate in front of you on the table, like integrated into your table. And usually you get a big bowl of soup that's placed inside the heating area. So like a metal container of soup. These dogs are a bit feisty around here, they might try and chase me. But yeah, metal container of soup. And then what you're supposed to do is order fresh food from the menu, like, you know, meat or fish or vegetables, whatever. And you sit there playing around with a knob under the table, or oi oi, playing around with some buttons under the table, modifying the temperature constantly, because otherwise you burn your food or you burn your soup. Actually, where do I want to go? I want to go this way. Okay, hang on a minute. And cooking your own food. And I absolutely cannot stand these places. I'll tell you why. Firstly, I go to a restaurant, right, if I'm lazy. I don't mind cooking at home. I love my wife to cook, but I will cook as well. I'm happy to cook. And I go to restaurants because I want to enjoy a nice cooked meal provided to me by somebody else. That's what I'm paying for. I can cook that steak, or I can cook that egg fried rice at home myself, and I can do it a darn sight cheaper. What I'm paying for is the service. And for whatever reason, in hot pot restaurants, they are never cheap. They're always really expensive. The ones here in Brunei are crazy expensive. And I just ask myself, what am I paying for? Because the produce I can buy cheaper. I can just take that stuff home and, you know, cook it myself. Why do I need to pay you to supply me with the fresh produce, and then I have to sit there and cook it? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. I think it's one of the biggest scams ever pulled in the restaurant business. That's what I think. I honestly think it's a scam. Now, where on earth am I going to park my bike? Oh, I'll park it up there. I'll have to carry it, but that'll be okay. It's going to be heavy. There we go. Nobody shops by bike in Brunei, like literally zero people. So maybe a few Westerners down in the oil-rich area of KB do, but here in the main area, Bandar, nobody shops like this. So anyway, so there you are, absolute scam. You pay through the nose for the produce, and then you got to pay through the nose to cook it yourself. What a joke. And for some reason, hot pot restaurants are really popular here. Like, Bruneians love them, my wife loves them, my wife's family loves them. They think they're brilliant. And their excuse is, oh, well, you can cook everything how you like it. I'm like, yeah, but I would expect that the professional chef in the back of the restaurant, you know, wherever you go, would be better at cooking that food than me, because it's something they do all the time, hence why they're a professional chef, right? And I would also say that in a normal restaurant, you can actually ask people to cook things to your specifications. You know, if, like, again, if you order a steak, you can usually say to people in the restaurant, I want that rare, medium rare, blue, whatever. I have mine blue because I love my meat sort of still kicking. But like, honestly, hot pot, what a scam. And I guess I just get frustrated by the fact that so many people like it, and I just think those people are stupid. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry. I apologize to all my friends and family who love hot pot restaurants, but the whole thing is just dumb. Like, you've been taken for a ride. It's a scam. You know, I joke with my wife that the next best idea after hot pot would be a restaurant where you come in, you seat yourself, there's no staff because it will be digital, right? You seat yourself down. There's a little train like in a sushi restaurant that brings you the produce, you know, once you select it. It could all be automated, right? You cook your own food, and then after the meal you take your plates to a sink and you have to wash up. So you do the washing up for them as well. So basically everything is automated and you do the washing up yourself. That would be the ultimate restaurant. And would anyone go for that? Would anyone be like, oh, that's a great idea, sign me up, you know? I don't think so. I don't think anyone's that daft, are they? Again, it's only a short stop. I'm highly unlikely to get anything nicked, but you might as well, right? Better to be safe than sorry. Oh wow. Hi, can I take a couple of these?
How many?
Two of those, two of those, two of these. Actually, no, forget the white because that'll clash with the yellow. No, I've changed my mind on that one. Got any purple or pink? Go for some of these, a couple of those.
One?
Two. Okay. There's something missing. These ones, I'll take a couple of those. Thank you.
Just wrap plastic, sir?
Yeah, sure, thank you.
$9.60, sir.
Nice. There we go, thank you. Not bad for $9. Right. Actually had trouble finding the flower shop because they've moved it. It's actually got way nicer. It used to be like a little sort of dingy small place, but they've got an absolute massive one now, so they must have sold a lot of flowers. Right, I reckon these can just stick straight on the top, and maybe if I move the straps back a bit. So yeah, that I have absolutely no idea why people would ever want to go eat in a hot pot restaurant. I'd much rather be served. Thank you very much. That is why I go to a restaurant, and I think it's just some kind of scam. Right, what else can I talk about? I might have to check my list, you know. Oh, yeah, another restaurant one is, why on earth nowadays have they got... Oh, I'm going to drop my flowers. There we go. Why on earth nowadays are they doing this thing, right, in restaurants where you go in, you sit down, and stuck to the table is a QR code, or on a little, you know, on a little sign is your QR code, and you're supposed to scan the QR code with your smartphone, and you get happens is you get redirected to a menu, basically online, like a website that's got the online menu for the restaurant. Now, to me, this is annoying because, number one, it assumes that you have a smartphone, and if you don't, well, you're kind of screwed, aren't you? What can you do if you don't have a smartphone, right? The second thing is that even if you've got a smartphone, there's no way of knowing you've got enough data, or that you can access their internet. And why would you want to access their internet is another question, because, you know, it might not be safe, right? People are always saying don't access unknown hotspots and Wi-Fis, because obviously you get all your data stolen, can't you? So you're supposed to trust their Wi-Fi if you don't have any data for whatever reason. Again, it assumes you have a phone, that you're technically minded enough to have a smartphone. Yeah, I mean, what happens if your phone has a particularly small screen? You've then got to stare at all the items in the sort of the online catalogue of food to eat, you know, through this tiny phone screen. I just don't like having to stare at the food on a tiny screen. And believe it or not, there's always less information as well in these online catalogues, because somebody's got to keep them updated, haven't they? On our way again, yeah, so why I don't like that. I'd rather have a menu, thank you very much. And like I say, they never get the pictures right inside the menus anyway online. You're always forever asking people what something is. Honestly, it's just too many steps. And I don't like it. I find it unnecessary. Again, it ruins the going for a meal experience for me. Right, another issue I have, away from restaurants for the moment, is people who indicate, this is kind of cycling related I suppose, people who indicate on roundabouts. Now, you might think that indicating on a roundabout is actually a really good thing to do. For example, if you're in the outside lane of the roundabout, okay, so you've got inner and outer. I'll say inner and outer because in different countries you could be going around the roundabout in different directions, so saying right hand lane, left hand lane isn't going to make any sense. But so you're in the outer lane of the roundabout, say it's got a 2-lane roundabout, and you're about to leave via one of the exits. So you start indicating to let everyone know you're going to leave the roundabout. That, to me, is perfectly fine. It was taught during my driving test. That's perfectly acceptable. Alright folks, I realised in this section of the video I didn't explain myself very well, so I'm going to try and do it via this video. Also, forgive the background noise, it's raining heavily here. So that car there was in the left-hand lane, it indicated left and it turned left, that's good. Then the next car that comes along is in the right-hand lane, it's indicating right, it takes the right-hand lane and it exits via the third exit, which makes perfect sense. And then the next car making a U-turn, again right-hand lane, stays in the right-hand lane, indicates to the right, goes all the way around the roundabout and exits. That's absolutely fine, and that is how you should go round a roundabout. Okay, again, sorry for the rain in the background, not much I can do about it, but this is what makes me so angry with these drivers and makes me want to slap them on the back of the head. So imagine you are the blue car and the red car entered the roundabout with you at about the same time. They entered in the left-hand lane, you entered in the right-hand lane because you are turning right as the blue car. So you're in the correct lane. The car on your left, the red car, should be leaving by the first or second exit, right? Because they're in the left-hand lane. But then all of a sudden, as they enter the roundabout, they start indicating to the right. And they continue to do this all the way round the roundabout. So they stay in the left-hand lane and they continue indicating to the right to let everybody know that they're going round the roundabout. So sometimes the driver of the red car will exit via the second exit, in which case indicating to the right is completely unnecessary. You don't indicate to the right if you're leaving by the second exit. Sometimes the driver in the red car will exit via the third exit or even do a full U-turn, and they will stay in the outside lane that entire time, and the entire time they go around they will indicate to the right. This happens a lot here and it drives me absolutely nuts because it is not letting anybody know where you're actually going. All it's doing is sending confusing signals to other drivers. Because I'll be driving along in the innermost lane, the lane closer to the centre of the roundabout, and I'll have this car on the outside lane just ahead of me, and it'll be indicating like this to come in. And I'm like, okay, so now I have a problem. I don't know if the driver ahead of me wants to change lanes because they're in the wrong lane, or they have to change lanes, or they're just a silly person, putting it kindly, who is letting everybody know that we're going round a roundabout, which everybody's doing. We're all going round the bloody roundabout. You don't need to tell everyone you're going round a roundabout. We're all going round the roundabout, right? So then what do? So sometimes I brake and I back off because I think, okay, they want to come over, and they don't. So I wasted my time. Other times I'll flash my lights at them to say, sure, come over. Yeah, sometimes the roundabout's busy, it's crowded, there's very little space. So, you have to give people a bit of leeway, right? Be nice to people. So I flash them, yeah, sure, come over, move over. But they don't move. Again, wasted my time. And then every now and again, you get that one driver who is actually changing lanes. So you'll be driving along, and because again, this happens a lot here, 9 times out of 10 when they're indicating they don't want to change lanes. And you get this one driver who does actually want to change lanes and is using their indicators correctly, signals, right? Signal to move to the right. And because I've become jaded by the idiocy of all those previous drivers, I don't give them way, and they cut my nose off because I wasn't expecting them to move over. So there you go, folks. That really pees me off. That's a definite one. Everyone who does that, indicates on a roundabout unnecessarily, needs a slap in the back of the head. It's a complete waste of time. Right. Thank you, folks. I enjoyed getting that off my chest. I thought I was going to get through more of these today, to be honest with you, more of the things that actually bother me. But, I just ended up filling the space up. So I will have to do another one of these videos of things that annoy me, if you guys enjoyed this, or if you found you were concurring with my opinions. Until next time, folks, do stay safe on the road. I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.